Welcome aboard Tristan and Tommy's Runaway Railway. For your safety, please remain seated and enjoy the show.
Welcome to Please Remain Seated, a theme park podcast hosted by two theme park enthusiasts that work for the industry in Orlando, Florida. We got a lot of Disney news coming your way, including some wage issues, some new union negotiation stuff going on right now. We're also going to be reviewing the newest roller coaster at the Magic Kingdom, Tron. And of course, it doesn't open until April 4th. But we got some special previews. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the 100 Years of Wonder. And Tristan's got a lovely tristery about the history of dark rides. I'm Tommy. The other guy is Tristan. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, my lad. To keep in the Disney theme here, I just got off a Disney cruise.
Ooh.
It was a wonderful time. That's why we've been away for a little bit here, a couple of weeks. We took a couple of weeks off, but I'm back. It was wonderful. It was a Disney Pixar Day at Sea cruise, which means a lot of the events were Pixar themed, and they had a lot of new Pixar type of things. We were actually on the third ever Pixar cruise. They just started doing them this year, and we were on, I believe, the third one. So it was pretty cool. Had a good old time, but glad to be back. How you been, Tommy?
Been doing pretty good. Gonna be starting a new job in a week. And also, speaking of this being, like you said, keeping up with the Disney theme, it is pretty much going to be all Disney news today, including an update to the Reedy Creek District things with the Florida government, whatever. That's all going to be fun. But let's get things straight away here with the current Disney union negotiations. So right now there's been heavy, intense negotiations between the Disney unions as well as the company on what the next raise is going to be. The last union contract negotiations made plans to get Disney cast members up to $15 an hour for their base wage. And now in 2022, 2023, they are trying to make plans to get up to $20 an hour. Right now, the union, the contract did expire back in October, and the union wants to get cast members a $2 raise right away with an additional dollar in October, and then a dollar until get to 20 an hour, where Disney wants to only give $1 right away. They've been negotiating for months and months and months until finally on February 2nd and 3rd, the Disney union cast members took it up to a vote to vote on the Disney deal, which would only start off with a dollar raise, which was heavily rejected. 96% of the 14,000 cast members that voted said, no, that is not enough. We need more. That is what they said. And so once they went back to negotiations, keep in mind the day before they went back to negotiations, Universal announced that their base wage was going to be 17 an hour starting in June. So Universal already said, we're going to give you 17 right away starting in June, when Disney is still fighting for a similar thing, which the company doesn't want to give them until October, basically. And when they went back to the negotiating table, the union said, this is what we want. Disney, talked about it and said, you know what? You know that deal that 96% of you rejected? We're going to offer the same deal, but make it worse. That is literally what they did. According to the union statement, on the day of the negotiations, today, the six unions of the Service Trade Council met with Disney for the first time since 13,650 cast members voted to reject Disney's contract proposal on February 2nd and 3rd. Despite the overwhelming message sent by cast members, Disney refused to add even 1 cent to its wage proposal. Moreover, Disney's proposal today reduced retroactive pay for thousands of workers, making today's proposal even worse than the offer already rejected. The 6 unions will be announcing public action soon to bring light to the plight of cast members struggling to survive the devastating increase cost of living, which you and I living in Orlando, we know that $15, $16 is not enough to survive here.
Nope.
It is absurd. Cast members are living out of their cars, can barely feed their families. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then especially with Universal announcing them giving them a higher wage over Disney, what they're trying to give them, it's wild. Like the rejection and then Universal, it's like, what is going on? What's Disney doing?
Yeah, craziness. All I really have to add on it is, folks, if you're listening, just you're gonna be going on social media if you follow lots of theme park type things, and you're gonna be seeing lots of posts about this.
Yeah.
Share it, spread it like wildfire, get it out there. Because the more of a problem this becomes for Disney, the more they're gonna have to bend and just do it.
Yeah.
So they have to do what the public wants. They will bend to the public's demands eventually. So
yeah, I think the more they're shamed. I saw a video today. Tom Corley, I forget exactly how his last name goes, but he's from WDW News Today. He went on like a solid 20-minute rant, and like I know some people aren't the biggest fans of WDW News Today, but like that rant was beautiful. Like he laid in to Disney and just like super backing the cast members, and I'm like, that is the energy I need from every Disney vlogger. Please bring that. And the more public figures that shame them, the better it will be for Disney cast members. They deserve it. The amount of work they put in, the exponential cost of living, and it's everywhere, but particularly we're feeling it here in Central Florida. We know what workers need down here, and Disney, you got to do better.
Let me throw you something interesting here that just passed through my brain circuits. All right.
Yeah.
So Universal said they're going to $17 an hour. Is that what it was?
Yeah, starting in June, their base is going to be 17 an hour.
Okay, so the first thing that popped in my head was, what's Disney trying to do? Get all their people to leave and go work at Universal? But then this occurred to me.
Yeah.
Like, wait, didn't Disney, like, aren't they laying off 7,000 people? Like, hasn't that been a thing that's been going around? Like, I heard that's a rumor going around. So then what if Disney is doing this to potentially get people to leave because they know they need to downsize?
Because I think a lot of that downsizing has to do a little bit more with management rather than the bottom workers.
Well,
I think that's what I've heard.
Yeah, that could be true. I mean, definitely. But
and then like, another theory that I've heard going around. So the last contract really expired on October 1st. So whenever the cast members do get a raise, they're going to get that retroactive pay. So whether it's $1 or $2, they're going to get paid an extra dollar or two all the way back to October 1. So once the raise goes through, they're going to get all that pay. And then maybe it's like, hey, maybe they're trying to get everybody to quit, so they have to pay all that retroactive pay. But it'd also be kind of dumb to try to lose all your best cast members. Somebody also told me, I don't know if this is true, but around the time Universal announced that wage and the day of the negotiations, supposedly their job site crashed. I don't know if that's true or not, but it would not surprise. It wouldn't surprise me that much.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either.
And then also another thing. So the day of or day after all that bad press went out, Disney announced that they were going to, for the next month, the cast members are going to get a 50% off merch discount and an extra Tron preview. And I don't think it's super fair to assume, but I mean the timing of that announcement is in poor taste, to say the least. Like I love seeing, because I've seen a couple posts, hey guys, 50% off, but then a bunch of other people, hey guys, don't let this distract you from Disney keeping us from a living wage. So I love seeing that energy. Fight the power, fight the man.
Well, heck, that's all I have to say about that, but hopefully something gets worked out there.
Yeah, good luck to our fellow Disney cast members. I got a lot of friends in the union that have been giving me updates. Hearing about the negotiations that happened Wednesday, I just was baffled, to say the least.
Pee poo poo. But our next or another piece of news we have for today is also kind of along the non-magical things variety, and that kind of goes into the whole thing that's been going on with Florida's government and Reedy Creek. And a lot of people prior to a few months ago didn't even know what Reedy Creek was, but now it's coming to light that it's Disney's own, basically their own government, to make sure that they're tax exempt. But it also has other benefits too. There's a lot of benefits to Disney being able to control its jurisdiction and other sorts of municipality type things. So anyway, the Florida Senate has approved the bill to restructure the Reedy Creek Improvement District into something that's going to now be called The Central Florida Tourism Oversight District.
Oof.
So why have it something easy like Reedy Creek when you can call it the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District? It just rolls off the tongue. Also known as 2023 Florida House Bill 9B. So basically, Ron DeSantis is going to be able to appoint the district's 5 board members subject to state Senate approval. Now it seems like that's probably going to happen at this point. But Disney will now have to pay taxes essentially to the state. But also, all of this I feel like came from the backlash of Disney speaking out, against the whole "Don't Say Gay" bill. Essentially, is what it became known as.
Yeah.
Like, man, all of this just for that.
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
I know.
Yeah.
Say what you will about Bob Chapek, right? But he did stand up for that. I remember
after getting backlash from cast members.
Well, true. Which hopefully Disney does the same thing now with what we were just talking about with the wages. But it's just I was so surprised to see that actually passed. I didn't think it was gonna. I thought it was just fluff. So
yeah, I'm very surprised that happened. Because I don't know what effect that's going to have on Disney or even the taxpayers that live like in Orange and Osceola County. I don't know if that's going to affect them at all.
Yeah, I don't. I'm looking at an article right here. It doesn't say anything about that.
So I remember like back when this was like first being proposed, people were worried about that.
Yeah, that was a big thing, and it was going to mess a lot of things up. It was like that's going to be a huge burden on a whole bunch of people, and a bunch of people that aren't that wealthy. I mean, going back to what it costs to live in Central Florida, I saw a post on somewhere the other day that said it rivals living in New York City.
Yeah,
like in some instances, and that's crazy. But
yeah, it's like I definitely don't think it's that extreme, but yeah, because like because the apartments that we live in right now, because we both pay around $1,600 for a 1-bedroom, whatever. In New York for $1,600 you get like our apartments are like what 1,000 square feet or whatever.
Mine's like less than 700 or around 700, but
okay, yours is around 700. For New York, for that price, you're gonna get a closet.
True. Yeah.
And a shared bathroom with the floor.
Why is that worth it? I just want to know why is that like
I really don't know.
Without going off on a tangent, because we got to get a few other things.
Yeah, true.
What is that? Why would you want to live? I don't know. Anyway, we've got some happier news.
Yeah, let's go into the happy news.
Well, so let's talk about what everyone loves to end their day with: fireworks. All right, so we got
fireworks.
Epcot Forever coming back.
Ready to begin. Oh wait,
Happily
Epcot
Ever
Forever.
After.
One little spark of inspiration. We call it Epcot. I am a huge Epcot Forever stan. I will die on that hill.
Yeah.
And also Happily Ever After, incredible. Can't wait for that to come back.
I agree with you on that. So those are the show times officially have come out. It's going to be 9 p.m. for both shows starting April 3rd. That's the day they come back, which means Enchantment and Harmonious leaving April 2nd. Bye-bye. But exciting news there, 9 p.m. So good stuff to see there. Not really much else to report there. We've already kind of talked about that in a previous episode. We'll go to some quick food and beverage news here. So we'll go first to Fort Wilderness, where we have the classic Trails End family style restaurant, which is closing, unfortunately. April 17th. I know. It was
great food for a great price.
Just great experience.
Yeah.
Fort Wilderness is a very cool resort to visit. Just very niche, very unique. And Trails End was a part of that. So it's becoming still a food and beverage location, and it'll be similar types of food, but it will simply be, and I quote, a marketplace concept with expanded quick service options. Grab and go essentially is what I'm feeling like here. And even if it has good food, it's just you just walk up and get it and leave. Like, come on.
It doesn't feel like it doesn't sound like it'll have the same quality. Definitely not the same quality experience. Because like it makes me think like Captain Hook's at the Polynesian, which is fine for what it is, but like yeah, exactly. So
I don't know. But it does say that Hoop-Dee-Doo will not be affected. So, I mean, you would have riots on your hands there.
Oh yeah.
So,
Hoop-de-doo, you can't get rid of that.
and then our other piece of food and bev types of news would be for the Roundup Rodeo BBQ. We've already kind of talked about on the last episode about their menu. So if you want to mouth water, go back and listen to our last episode where I talk about all the menu items. Sounds amazing. Reservations are going to come out on February 21st. So that should be tomorrow for all you people listening to this on the day it comes out. We're recording this on the night of February 19th, and I'm going to push this thing out tonight so you can listen to it tomorrow on the 20th. But anyway, on February 21st is when reservations become available for the restaurant that opens March 23rd.
Heck yeah.
I'm excited. That's a really nice addition to Toy Story Land, which has been lacking certain things. I think everyone's known that for the few years it's been open. Like, it's a cool land, but it's not big enough. It doesn't have enough. 3 rides that are a lot of fun. Really 2 rides that are a lot of fun.
Yeah, respectfully.
And I love the tacho stand. That's great.
Yeah.
But that was your only food and beverage location.
True.
So a nice sit down restaurant that's family style and barbecue.
Yeah. And this one, and I don't know if this is really the hottest take, but I feel like Hollywood Studios is the weakest park food wise.
Agreed.
Like, they're really, like, they have a lot of cool restaurants. Like, you got your 50s Prime Time and your Sci-Fi Dine-In. But there's not a lot of like places there that make me go, oh my God, like, for the food over there.
Yep.
Maybe Brown Derby, but that's a little bit more upscale.
Yeah. So exciting news for that. It'll be a nice addition to Hollywood Studios as a whole. Other than that, I think our last piece of Disney news here would be just a quick one. Disneyland's ToonTown is getting new costumes for their cast members. And now it's not just one set costume for their cast members anymore. There are several different pieces, and I won't, you just go look them up if you want to see them. But it's one of those things that it looks like they can choose different shirts and different pants and stuff to
that's fun
to suit them. Similar to Galaxy's Edge, not as crazy as the Galaxy's Edge costumes, which are all over the place, but a nice new addition to their Toontown over there, which obviously correlates with their Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway opening, which it just did.
Yeah, it did just open, and I've been hearing really good things about it. Like, I've heard particularly the queue for it over there is really, really cool. Like, a lot of different Easter eggs. Like, like, if you want to look into it, you can like go look it up. But like, I've like just heard the queue is really cool, and I actually saw a ride through of it, and it's pretty much the same ride as it is here. Like, the station's identical, and there's just like a couple like different placement things that are different, and then I don't think they have as many great movie ride references. Like, there's that one poster and that one scene that says great moving ride. I didn't see that one in that version. But then like just a couple things look slightly different, but it's pretty much the same story. But yeah,
cool stuff over there. Always interesting that in a park that is so spatially confined, such as Disneyland, that they didn't have to tear down a beloved attraction to build their Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Crazy.
While here in Florida, we have nothing but land, and they had to tear down the Great Movie Ride. So
yeah. So weird. Anyway, yeah.
That's it for our news. I figured we got something exciting to talk about here. All right, Tommy, I know you're itching. Itching.
Yeah. This has been a long time coming.
So they opened up previews for Tron Lightcycle Run. So cast members were able to take some +1s, so lots of people. I mean, you can go out and see, like, media has been on it. Everyone's been on it. So we happened to snag some spots on that. And Tommy, I'll let you, I know let's just go. I know you're excited.
Gosh darn, man, where do I even begin? Well, I was lucky enough to preview it at night. I actually am going to be attending at least a couple more previews. I was really happy I was able to experience this ride at night. Because like all the lighting on the outside makes it look much cooler. Gosh, where do I even begin?
I know.
Like, lose my train of thought. Like the theming and the atmosphere around the canopy and inside the building, I think is very, very cool. And the launch itself is very powerful. Now the first time I rode this ride, I was in the middle. I rode it twice. First time was in the middle row. and I thought like this is a pretty good ride. And then my second ride, I got the ride in the back row, and I felt it much different in the back row. I've heard the ride is really cool in the front row, and I'm gonna try to get a front row ride the next time I go on it. But the back row, I gotta say, I was a big fan of that. Tristan, how many rides have you? How many rides did you get on it?
Just the one. I might have a chance to go on it again here in the next week or so. I don't remember what day, but I've been on just the once. I don't remember where in the train I was. To be honest, I just don't.
Yeah.
I've got bad memory, but I can tell you it was a lot of fun. I also rode it at night, which I think is probably going to be the superior version. I think that's going to become the norm. Riding it at night is going to be the way to go. It just doesn't seem like you're not going to get as many great views in the daytime. Like, I don't think you're going to be able to see that many really great views. Obviously for not long. I mean, you're zipping by so fast when you are in the outdoor portion that it's not, it doesn't really matter, but being there at night and seeing the canopy illuminated is really going to be the significance of it. Pretty good thrill level.
Yeah.
Very smooth. Obviously most new roller coasters are. Let me ask you, how did you like the train, like actually sitting on it? How was that? How was your experience sitting on the train?
I had no issues sitting on the train. I thought it was pretty cool. Like I wouldn't say it was the most comfortable, but I wasn't like uncomfortable.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I was
like,
the same way.
I wasn't like, oh my God, but like I wasn't like, Guardians of the Galaxy comfortable.
Yeah. I was confused. I was like, because I've it's similar to how you kind of sort of sit on your seat at Flight of Passage, but not entirely, because I mean, what did you have to? You had to pull something
exactly.
to bring the leg thing up.
Yeah, exactly. Because on Flight of Passage, you just sit down and then a back restraint comes up. On Tron, you sit down, you reach out in front of you to bars, and then you pull them to you, and then that locks in a leg restraint. So really on this ride, it's leg restraints. And then like you have a thing over your back, but that's not really locking you in. It's the leg restraints that's kind of keeping you in, and you're like kind of laying down on it. Another unique feature about this ride is that it is the first ride in Disney World that will require you to use lockers for loose articles. Now, the trains do have a pouch in front for small objects like phones and keys, but like if you have bags or water bottles, you'll have to put things in a locker before you get on. Now, thankfully, these are free and double-sided and very big. The party that I was with, we fit 3 lounge flies in there. So like you got some good room in there. And you have to use either a magic band or a physical ticket. If you have My Magical Mobile, you'll have to get a card from a cast member. You'll scan the locker, and then once you get off the ride, you'll be on the other side of it. It's a pretty neat system. I do worry about how Disney guests are going to adapt to it. But it is a very nice system. Also, before you even get to the lockers, there's like kind of a cool little pre-show, if you will. It's like not like a full in-depth pre-show, like several minutes long. You just kind of go into a really cool room with like a nice little reveal. Like I thought that was a cool part of it. Now, the first time I rode the ride, somehow we skipped that. Like they somehow sent us into that room after it ended, so we kind of missed that part of it. So I'm really glad that
I feel like I missed it too, because I don't quite know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, because like you go into a room and then do you remember just like walking through like a room that looked like maybe there should have been a pre-show?
Not really. I walked through little hallway type rooms where you just zigzagged a couple times and there were screens.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I also was on my phone a little bit during the queue, so I wasn't really paying attention.
R.I.P.
Yep. Having said all that, I dug it. I think it'll be a great addition. It's odd because I naturally want to compare it to the other new roller coaster, Disney has, and which is Guardians, and it's not Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
It doesn't live up to that level.
No.
But it's still a lot of fun. Definitely an awesome coaster, and it's really cool to have a coaster like that in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to have that. It's like, the only I know the biggest complaints about the ride are like some people don't think the seats are like, there's been a lot of complaints about the comfortability and inclusiveness of the seats. And then also the length of the ride has been a really big complaint that it's only like a minute long, where like, we just got Guardians last year, which did not take 7 years to build. And it's like a 3-minute ride and it's amazing.
Yeah.
For me, the length of the ride wasn't even that big of a problem. I think My biggest issue with Tron itself is the show building. I don't see enough people complaining about it. But for me, having that visible show building as you're going into the kingdom and even while you're in the park is like, I kind of hate that.
Yeah. I don't think Disney's been putting enough effort into like hiding certain elements of
They,
that. Because like
they,
even when you drive
yeah,
past Hollywood Studios
yeah.
on World Drive, I think you can see some things that you shouldn't be able to
Oh,
see.
oh yeah, absolutely. Like Disney's done a terrible job recently, but for me, something about it being in the Magic Kingdom is like unforgivable to me.
Yeah, it
Like
is
I
kind of
like
ugly.
I think that alone puts the ride down a few pegs for me, like a few more than it probably should.
Hmm.
But like, if this ride was like not in the Magic Kingdom, it would be infinitely better just because of that.
Yeah.
Um, one thing that actually surprised me with Tron is like how elevated the pathway is leading up to it. Because like, did you notice that like when you're entering the ride, you're like pretty much as high as the People Mover?
I didn't notice
Like,
that, but I knew you were elevated. But no, that's an interesting concept.
like you look like you're almost as high as the People Mover from up
Yeah.
there. Like it's kind of crazy.
Hmm.
Like very interesting, like messing with the sight lines, if you will.
Yeah.
I'm interested to like kind of see it again once I go back, like especially during the daytime.
Yes.
Um, and weirdly enough, and like I'll probably have a better opinion when I ride it again. In terms of like a roller coaster in the Magic Kingdom, it's probably my favorite in the Magic Kingdom, like as a roller coaster, but it's not like one of my favorite Magic Kingdom rides, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because when I go to the Magic Kingdom, I want Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, even like Thunder Mountain and Space Mountain have like a certain magic
Hmm.
that something about Tron doesn't quite have that magic for me. Maybe
Yeah.
I have to give it a few more rides and maybe I'll get that. Um, like I've seen a lot of people rave on the theming. I haven't like it's really great theming. For some reason, it hasn't touched me as much as it's touched other people. But with that being said, like it is a very cool ride. Like, yeah,
Yes. Well, hey man, it's
yeah,
awesome, exciting, fun. Well, maybe we'll talk more about it after a few rides. But
yeah,
alrighty. And then we have another like a little quick discussion here that I just wanted to pick your brain a little bit about, Tommy, because we're in the company, Disney as a company is in a pretty cool place right now. They're celebrating 100, I think they're calling it 100 years of wonder.
yeah,
Um, Disney company's been around 100 years,
yeah,
and I'm going to be completely honest and just come right out. I feel like it's kind of like the 50th anniversary of Disney World. Like it doesn't feel like they're doing that much other than putting some merchandise out. And that's kind of it. Like I've got some details for it pulled up here. And I'm like, yeah, sure. They're bringing back the Magic Happens parade at Disneyland, which is cool. And they're
yeah,
a new world of color at California Adventure. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway opened. Um, and then some merchandise, the costumes change. What do you think,
yeah.
Tommy? Is there anything that you're really
You know,
excited about?
you, that does kind of sound very similar to the 50th here because the 50th here, there's a couple new nighttime shows and then a clone of a ride that opened here with Ratatouille. So they're getting a clone, but it's Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I mean the commercial they had during the Super Bowl was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was good.
But like, and also the 100th Spirit jersey is like really pretty. I kind of wish I would have worn it for this show.
Yeah,
Um, but like I got one. It looks really cool. Um, but congratulations, Disney. Do
congrats.
do do something other than merch for a celebration.
I do have to say I like the merch for this more than for the 50th. I'm looking at
Oh,
it right now,
absolutely.
and right off the bat, there's a million things I'm like, ooh, I want all this. Where the
Yeah.
50th, like there was hardly anything I wanted. The coolest
Yeah.
stuff from the 50th was that from the Vault collection.
Yeah.
And they're doing a very similar thing for this. There's lots of like Walt Disney Studios, like the actual studios in Burbank type of merchandise and stuff like that. But other than that, like I don't know, man. Not
Yeah.
excited.
Especially here at Disney World. Granted,
Yeah.
we just had our 50th, but even at Disneyland, it seems all right. I don't have much to throw in with that.
Yeah, neither do I. Don't have much other than that. But if any of our listeners are actually excited about it, or you think we can be convinced to be excited about it, please let us know.
Yeah.
Leave a review or just follow us on social media and comment there. But we'll go into our last little quick thing here of this show, of this episode, and it's the classic theme park tristery. We got a really fun topic here for this. Dark rides. Dark rides is one of those terms that a lot of people know, but it's kind of weird. Like, what does that actually mean? And it's very exclusive to theme parks, and specifically Disney, but not entirely. And we'll learn about it here. So, Wikipedia's traditional definition of dark ride is a ride through attractions with scenes that use black lights, whereby visible light is prevented from entering the space, and only show elements that fluoresce under ultraviolet radiation are seen by the riders. So that's a very, very specific definition of the dark ride, and that's mainly the classic dark ride from back in the day. Examples of that type of dark ride would be Disneyland's Snow White's Scary Adventures, Pinocchio's Daring Journey, Peter Pan's Flight, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and Alice in Wonderland. The effect of using the fluorescent paint was often done by Imagineer Claude Coates, who you can actually learn about if you go back and listen to episode 14 of our show. I did a tristery on him by himself. One of his many things he did was contributed to the art design of the classic Disney dark rides. Dark rides are generally known for influencing the rider's emotional attachment through the ride's level of immersion and storytelling, in essence, not relying on thrills for the desired effect to be experienced. One of Disney's most popular dark rides is the Haunted Mansion, further classified as a ghost train type attraction, which first opened in the Blackpool Pleasure Beach. That's always a tongue twister. Blackpool Pleasure Beach theme park in 1930, and other than being rebuilt in 1936, remains unchanged to this day. Our Roller Coaster Tycoon fans will recognize Blackpool Pleasure Beach because it's actually in one of the expansion packs for the original Roller Coaster Tycoon under the Real Parks. You ever play the Real Parks, Tommy?
Play the Real Park? Yeah, yes, I have.
They're so difficult. I was trying to do it yesterday. Can't do it. Blackpool Pleasure Beach is also home to the world's largest indoor dark ride, Valhalla. I don't know much about it, but it must be cool. A newer variation of the dark ride is the Trackless dark ride, which does not rely on any sort of guide rails or tracks for the vehicles to travel through the ride path. Examples of the Trackless dark ride are Remy's Ratatouille Adventure in Epcot and Disneyland Paris, Mystic Manor at Hong Kong Disneyland, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance at Disneyland and Disney's Hollywood Studios, and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which replaced the classic Disney dark ride, the Great Movie Ride. Had to fit that in there. Certain roller coasters can be classified as dark rides if the coaster relies on fire and smoke effects, lighting, sound, or animated figures in addition to being a roller coaster, such as Revenge of the Mummy in the Universal Parks, Flight of Fear at Kings Island and King's Dominion, Blazing Fury at Dollywood, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at the Magic Kingdom, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot. I tell you, you've been to both King's Dominion and Kings Island, right?
Yes.
Did you ride Flight of Fear?
Yes.
How was it?
Theming was very cool, especially in the queue in the station. The ride itself was very uncomfortable. It was very rough, which saddened me because it literally just had a lap bar, but like just the inversions and everything, it was just like kind of disappointed me in a way. But I've known that other coaster enthusiasts enjoy it more than I do. But for a not Disney ride, the theming and the queues were like pretty good, great, man.
Oh, good to hear.
There's like a big UFO you walk through. It's wild.
Wild.
Yeah.
But now, although Disney did not invent or popularize the dark ride, most of the classic Disney dark rides known today exist in Disney parks around the world. Tommy, what's your favorite dark ride?
Off the top of my head, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Agreed.
I feel like after this episode, I'll think of a few more, but like that one just like hits.
Yeah,
like, I think it's so great. Especially the Disneyland one.
Yeah, exactly. I think 90% of people, if asked that question, would say Pirates or Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
I think it has to go up between those two.
Yeah. Throw in Spaceship Earth too, if you want.
Yes, Spaceship
really
Earth.
Cool.
Definitely
Love that ride.
And like I already mentioned the Great Movie Ride, but I think the Great Movie Ride was an amazing version of a Disney dark ride because it mixed a stage show with live actors and a Disney dark ride together into one 30-minute ride. Like, come on.
Yeah, it was. Love when they have unique things on it. Living with the Land.
Living with the Land. See, that's a very bright ride, though. At the end,
it is bright. Yeah, it is bright. But
anywho, Tommy, you know the drill. Talk us out.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on Please Remain Seated. One more thing I'm going to throw into my Tron review, most importantly, is where it goes on my coaster ranking list.
Oh.
So now I have 142 credits. I've ranked it at 36.
Hey,
So very high up on my list.
that's
It's in
still that's
between,
high up there.
yeah, in between Verbolten and Jersey Devil. So,
Okay.
you know,
That's
good
about
good
where I'd expect it.
rides. Yeah, it's pretty good ride.
Alright.
I think next time, I just realized as we were recording this recently, they announced rumored Halloween Horror Nights houses. I usually don't like to delve into rumors, but if we have time on our next episode, maybe we talk about those. Might be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But anyways, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, 5 stars, rate, social media, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Tristiano, did you have words?
I sure do. We just rolled out a new feature where you can help support our show for as little as $3 per month. You don't have to. Everything we do is still going to be free. But if you like what we do and you can spare $3 a month, we'd really appreciate it. Just to put it in perspective, Tommy and I both pay $12 a month just to put the shows out. So if we could simply break even, that would be amazing. We're not looking to make millions of dollars here.
Yeah.
We just want to break even for what we do. Having said that, $3. Also, the maximum you can even donate is $12 a month. So really,
Yeah.
we're not asking for a lot.
Yeah. No.
But if you can do that, that'd be great. Heck, just spend one day a month where you don't get that overpriced drink that looks better than it tastes, and you'll be helping our show out a lot.
Yeah. And maybe instead of getting a whole Taco Bell box, just get a cheesy gordita crunch instead.
Well, a whole taco, but are you talking about the $5 box? Because you can't tell people not to get the $5 box. That's too good
you're
a
right.
deal.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
I would actually rather all of you get the $5 box and not pay for our show.
Actually, yeah, my bad. That was that was silly of me.
Yeah, you're kind of dumb.
Yeah. Try to not get the 2 snacks from the vending machine at work.
Yes, that's a horrible waste of money. Do not use vending machines, people. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.